When I was deciding what I was going to do for this speech, so many different ideas came to my mind, but I realized none of them were physical. I realized I don't know how to do anything besides be gay. And if there's one thing I know how to do, it's watch Drag Race, watch shows like Legendary, and watch videos of gay people twirling and dancing. So today, I'm going to teach you guys how to Vogue, which I believe is the most potent expression of one's gayness that you can really get. Hopefully by the end of this speech, you're going to be smarter and you're going to be happier. Happier because I hope you're a little bit entertained after this, but also smarter because you may know a little bit more about gay history. All you're gonna need to Vogue is 2 items and 6 steps. So now that you know what I'll be teaching you about today, let's get right to it. All you're going to need to Vogue is a music player, preferably a Bose because Bose is best, and an open space. Space where you can move around and not hit anybody with your body or hit anything and injure yourself. And that's all. So now that we're prepared to Vogue, let's get into the major elements that make up the Vogue dance style. First, before we get into that, you must stretch. Now, I'm not a physical person, nor am I a dancer, but it is extremely important to stretch out your body. Do some of this, touch the toes, I don't know, hamstring maybe? Is that what that is? I don't know. And then you're ready to go. First, we've got hand performance. Hand performance is all in the wrist. Hand performance is all about having limp wrists and moving your arms around and tell a story with your hands. You can do tapping of the shoulders, you can do a little bit like this, where you touch your elbow and then your shoulder like this. Or, you could just do crazy stuff to tell a story and do something that matches with the song. And then also hand performance goes with all of the other elements, and you have to do it with each of the others. Next one is catwalk, which is one of my favorites. The way you know how to do catwalk is you put your hand to your shoulder like this, and then you go lower until the top of your head is kind of to where your shoulder was. And then you make exaggerated movements with your hips like so, like that. Each hip out, and then you kind of add hands to it. So it's basically like, you can really do whatever you want with it, but that's how you get around the dance floor, that's how you move. It's just really exaggerated hip movements is what it's all about. Next is the duck walk, which is a low to the ground version of the catwalk. You get down like this, on your knees, whoosh, and then you just gotta hop like this. And while you're doing it, you can add dance moves to it as well. You can kind of jump around, do some of this, you can do some of that, you can do some of and it's all in the knees, it's all in the strength of your legs. And then after this, I'm gonna teach you about hair performance. The actual element that I really should be is floor performance, should be teaching you, but I'm not gonna do that, it's a little too sexy, it's a little too provocative, I don't wanna get y'all like riled up or anything. So we're just gonna do hair performance. Hair performance is swinging your hair around extremely dramatically to the beat of the song. When you've got inches like me, it's much better. Just for the music, you just, move it around. That's all that is. And finally, the most dramatic, and for some people, their favorite element, is spins and dips. Spins is obvious. Spinning is just spinning around, whatever you do. But dips is where it gets fun. I'm already out of breath, damn it. When, at the end of a beat or at the end of like a verse, you can kind of really end a beat by getting on the floor, dripping your foot, bringing it back, sitting down on your butt, and then lifting your leg up into the sky and arching your back as much as you possibly can. And that's how you do a dip. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that before. Some people call it a death drop, but it's not a death drop, it's a dip, people, okay? Now that you know how to perform the 5 elements of Vogue, let me conclude by putting it all together for you and reviewing what we've learned today.
The hurricane, Katrina! Here comes the hurricane, bitch. Ow! Here comes the hurricane, bitch. 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 Oh, Katrina, 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 Katrina. Oh my God, the hurricane boy, oh so sweet, what a treat, Katrina, baby, you jump to your feet, just like a cat, just like this, get back, everybody move back, watch the hurricane storm, and fucking attack, here comes the hurricane, bitch, ow, here comes the hurricane, bitch, oh, here comes the hurricane, bitch, ow, here
And that's how you do it. Okay, now, hold on. As you can see, I'm not a dancer, but I do my best. So, now you know how to Vogue, now you know how to do it all together. Please, like Madonna says, don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it, Vogue. Okay.